Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Cantor, and this is Teaching with Mr. Cantor. Today, we're going to be looking at Explore Part B. Specifically, we're going to take a look at the applet. Now, keep this page in mind, teachers, because we're going to have to use these 4 questions in this applet. Now, this applet is really, really cool because it allows us to play around with points that are already plotted. You can move them around, you can create different shapes, and we're going to talk about that momentarily. So let's click on the applet right here in the blue. We will click on it and it takes you automatically to the Open Up Resources website. Now, if you are not logged into this website, it's going to require you to sign up, use your Department of Education credentials, and once you are in, you will have full access to the Open Up Resources. Upon getting in, you will see that you have this page right here. There's a coordinate grid. There's a little gray thing with a number 1 here. It says plotting polygons, and then there are several points here in the green labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. You'll notice down on the bottom, it says check, which is really good because when you're finished, you can press the check button and it will tell you how many you have done. If I check it right now, you'll notice that it says 0 out of 6, and that is because I haven't done anything. Once you start moving these points around, then you will notice you start to create shapes. Right now I have a triangle. I can move it around and I can make a square. So you could do all kinds of things, but we're not going to specifically make a square. We are going to look at the slide that we have before, and we're going to actually work on all these points together. All right, so you can have your students use this program to essentially plot their points and not have to worry about graph paper and, wasting a lot of paper and copies and stuff like that, because we do have technology that you can use to help our students plot points. And I'm going to share with you some cool ideas you can use for activities here as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to plot these points. We have A through F. A is -7, 4. So let's go to -7, 4. Here it is. We can check to make sure we got that correct. It says 1 out of 6. Good job. Then we have -8, 5. So let's do that. -8. And now we want to go up to 5. Here it is. We can check again. We have 2 out of 6. Good work. Now we have -8, 6. So let's go to -8. We're going to go up to 6. Let's see. So far, so good. We got 3 out of 6. Now we got -7, 7. So we're going to take point D, move it to -7. And we want to go up to 7. So that is right here. We can check. We have 4 out of 6. So far, we're doing great. We're going to go to -5, 7. So now we have -5, which is right here. We want to go up to 7. -5, 7 is right here. We can check. We have 5 out of 6. And now we have -5, 5. So point F is going to go to -5, 5. And when we check, we get 6 out of 6. So we know we are correct. Good job, everybody. So this is how you check. If you press the arrows right here, this will actually refresh everything. And then the gray number 1 over here, if you press it over to the side, this actually takes you to the next question. If you notice, the next question has a lot more points. For number 2, we have all the way up to H. And that's because, as you can see, polygon B has a lot of points here. If we move over to number 3, you'll see we only have 4 points. And that's because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. This one brings you back to the original so that they know to connect it. But we don't need to do that. And because the program automatically does it. And then here we have A, B, C, D, E. We have 5. And of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we come back to the first one. All right. So what are some things you could do with this program other than, just connecting it the way it's supposed to be connected? So you can have your students do all kinds of different activities with the applet, as well as just plotting the points that are on the slide given to you. For example, you could give your students your own shapes, and then they have to tell you what are the coordinates of those shapes. You can give them the shape almost fully plotted, and then they have to figure out where is the mistake. So for example, if we had our old polygon A back, you could actually maybe print out a form or share a picture with your students on Google Classroom of this specific polygon 1, but done the wrong way. And then your students would have to look at that polygon and try to figure out what is wrong with it and how come that picture doesn't match this specific picture that is the correct one. So for example, you can maybe get 1 point that's wrong and give that to them. You could give them another one where maybe 2 points are wrong, 3 points are wrong. And essentially, it is their job to figure out what is wrong with this polygon. And in addition, you can actually have students create their own mistakes and then share that with the class through Zoom. Since you're teaching through Zoom primarily, students can share their screen. And in sharing their screen, the whole class will be able to view and monitor exactly what mistakes a student made. You could then give students 1 to 2 minutes to try to work independently and try to figure out, based on the new polygon that was created, where are the mistakes? Why does this student's polygon not look like the polygon that was given to us in the problem? So you can have a lot of fun, create a bunch of different activities, learn a lot from each other's mistakes, and essentially get a lot of value out of this program. So other than arrow analysis, there's a lot of other things you could do. For example, we're talking about the coordinate grid, and we can really gauge our students' understanding of the coordinate grid by asking them some critical thinking questions. For example, we do have 4 questions here that require our students to plot points, but we can also ask them questions such as, please plot a square in quadrant 1. What would be the coordinates of that square? So your students need to understand, first of all, that a square, all sides must be equal. They need to understand where quadrant 1 is, all right? Then you could ask them something similar. You can say, please plot a rectangle in the 4th quadrant, and then the students would have to do that. And you can get very creative because you have 4 different polygon coordinate grids to choose from. So you could tell them in the 2nd grid, let's go over to the 2nd grid, please plot a hexagon in the 2nd quadrant. And then your students have to, first of all, know how to plot that shape. They have to know where the 2nd quadrant is. And so essentially you can use this program to ask students challenging questions to really get them thinking, to really understand the coordinate grid. You can tell them questions like, I want you to plot a square somewhere on the coordinate grid such that all the values x and y are all negative. You can ask something like, please plot a rectangle somewhere on this coordinate grid where both x and y values are positive. You can mix them up. You can say 1 positive value, 1 negative value. You can say negative first, then positive. You can make all kinds of different activities surrounding this applet, because this applet allows you to freely move points from one quadrant to the next. All right. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Mr. Cantor. Hopefully what I have shared with you has been helpful to you. I will see you in the next one. Take care for now.